I got the music in me. Is this too disco for 2022? I mean, Hey! Hi, dolls! It's me, Wilma Fingerdoo, with the Fingerdoo review of Camp Wannakiki Season 4, Episode 9, a.k.a. the finale! Hooray! We made it! We're here at the end of the road. The light is at the end of the tunnel. The fat lady is about to sing. But before we get to it, I want to send a shout out to Elizabeth Harris, whose 3.5-month hospital stay is finally coming to an end. OMG, Elizabeth, I can't even imagine. I hope that you are just well on the road to getting better and better every day. Seriously, take care of yourself. I also want to thank Chris for sending me look at this fabulous snail mail. There's a postcard of Warhol's Elizabeth Taylor. There's a postcard of Warhol's Marilyn Monroe. There's also all sorts of goodies in here. There's a Halloween card with Snoopy and Woodstock on the front. Happy Halloween. Also, these things kill me. First of all, no more tips. I don't need any more tips. I got $1 million bill from Scarface. It's in plastic, so it's got to be real, right? I mean, God bless Queen Elizabeth, but it's not even been a month, and they're selling these already. It's not Franklin Mint, it's Ashton and Drake, the Queen. This is also very interesting. There was a scratcher card, which I didn't win. Chris sent me Michael Sam. This is in plastic. This is a signed rookie card, no, it was when he was with the Rams, and also a card with a bit of his uniform in there. Michael Sam, first gay football player in the American League, played with the Rams a bit, and then he went to the Canadian Football League and played for the Alouettes, the Montreal Alouettes, and first gay football player in both leagues to actively play. Thank you so much, Chris. I think that in particularly is interesting. And I really hope that you have a fabulous Halloween as well. Now, Mama needs a cocktail. Jorge, drink me. Oh. A homemade grasshopper? I don't want to know. For two queens who had a camp champ to crown, the Sugarbaker twins seem to be taking a leisurely stroll down memory lane. Who else remembers the ultra-modern JVC video sphere with flip clock bass option? It's from 1974. Oh my gosh, I was 8. That's it. But if you are as old as I am and do actually remember these things, you'll remember that the picture looked nothing like that. It was more like this. If you were lucky and you were standing on the hood of your car with an antenna in your hand. I'm just saying. I'd still have bought one. Sadly, the twins were interrupted by critters in their cans. Trash cans, that is. I get it. I hate it when critters get anywhere near my cans. Boob shrug. Do you remember Alan Carr? Boob shrug? But it wasn't a woodland critter at all. It was current reigning queen of camp, Geneva Convention, playing possum, which was a relief because Cherry thought she killed her. Geneva had never left camp. Apparently, she thought all the delicious pancakes they were throwing out were for her. Barf. If there were ever a glowing endorsement for applying for Season 5, this is not it. Meanwhile, back at the docks, Camp Counselor Ruthie was looking extra gorgeous in her peak-toe pumps and pencil skirt. You'd think there was a finale on the schedule or something. Ruthie was there to give the campers their final camp activity, fishing. That explains the fish puns. It doesn't excuse them, it just explains them. Now, because this was the final camp activity of the season, the campers weren't going fishing for compliments or anything like that. No, they were going fishing for real, not for play. And that meant they were going to need worms, barf again. And they were going to need poles. Not like that. You're going to put someone's eye out. So, it was off to Camp Wannakiki's office for a much-needed Bloody Mary and a cigarette for Camp Counselor Ruthie, and it was into the woods for the final 3 campers, and I'm not talking in a Stephen Sondheim kind of way. Now that would be good. First, it was the worms. So why the pizza cutter then? Clearly, this was yet another first time for Deja D. Like tubing, she'd never been fishing, or digging for worms, or digging. But she wasn't going to let a little thing like that stop her, seriously. Hillary could have been a braver Canadian when she first got her hands on her worms, sounds dirty. But was anyone else surprised that Hillary turned down Klinica's offer of all her yogurt? Sounds dirtier. If Hillary ate her worm? Apparently, Hillary's lactose intolerant. Too bad. She could have gone down in the annals of TV history as the drag queen who ate a worm, and not in the sexy way. Some people just don't want fame, I guess. Speaking of fame, Deja ended up with Klinica's worm all over her face. No, seriously, see for yourself. It's a big worm. And once they'd found the right piece of wood for their rods, the campers headed down to the lake for a lovely and relaxing afternoon of fishing and reflection. Yeah, probably reflecting on the horrible life choices that led them to impaling lonely worms on hooks. For the most part, the campers had happy memories of their time at camp with Ruthie and the Sugar Baker twins, the production crew, and of course, the other campers. Did I mention Ranger Danger? Hillary was still trying to figure out how they survived to the finale. Deja D told Hillary that she was the first Canadian she'd ever met. Hillary admitted that the stand-up challenge was her favorite camp activity, and Klinika pointed out that the three of them had all been in the top with one or the other once or twice. Of course, Hillary's couch look, complete with loose change, was something none of them would forget. Of course, neither was Klinika's tractor, and they all seemed to catch the same little fish. Poor thing. I guess they wanted to keep the body count down to 3 worms and 1 fish. I'm not kidding. That's a big lake. Those campers could have done some serious damage. Don't tell the Humane Society. Seriously. The campers had such a good time chin-wagging that it was a good thing Ruthie arrived to remind them that they still had the season's final talent show to get ready for. Or they might still be there fishing. Well, maybe not Deja. The Sugar Baker twins were all decked out like the fabulous flowers they are. Ruthie was particularly excited because they would also be crowning Mr. or Mrs. Congeniality. Joining Ruthie and the twins was, fresh from the garbage cans, the current reigning champ of Camp Geneva Convention, who looked like she'd been pulled through a fence backwards. But no, it was just the glow of being a new mother. Again. Of course, it wouldn't be a finale without the eliminated Season 4 campers. Opal Essence looked as glamorous as anyone can sucking on a lollipop. It was a lollipop, right? Flapjack's interpretation of bubble tea was cool enough to quench my thirst. Pola Frost was ready for a fight and looking fabulous. Coco Chanel's Interstella Bella was gorgeous, but then I'm always up for a little Dark Side of the Moon action. You heard me. Coleslaw was looking pretty in purple and orange, and I'm not talking about the freckles, although they were cute too. Vincent Mallet put a little more than a pomp in my pompadour, I'm not ashamed to say. He's such a flirt. Lily St. Queer's lampshade had me at whorehouse. That is where she said she got her grandmother's. And then it was time for the final 3. As simple as it was, I just loved Deja's talent show look. She was paying homage to the autistic children she works with, and although the puzzle piece as a symbol to those with autism has been in disuse due to its controversy, Deja said in an Instagram post that she and Klinika had talked about it, and Klinika had approved the costume. So, there. Hillary Yaz's final look was channeling a picture-perfect housewife, but all was not as it seemed. Hillary was hiding behind a mask, and, well, this is what was underneath. I didn't think she looked as scary as everyone else said she did, although she could have used a little more lippy and a little less eyeshadow. Just me? And last but not least was a freshly showered Klinika de Precious, although it looked like she needs to change her conditioner if you ask me. So after Ruthie, Geneva, and the Sugar Baker twins deliberated, Ruthie announced that the Congeniality crown went to Miss Pola Frost. And from what I could glean from the rest of the campers, it was a unanimous decision. Here's to Pola. Well done, doll. You look good. And then it was time for the reason we were all here, the crowning of this year's winner. It was a tight race. So to help them make their decision, Ruthie and the Sugar Baker twins asked the finalists what it would mean for them to win Champ of Camp. Deja D told the judges that if she won season 4 of Camp Wannakiki, it would be an amazing representation for herself and entertainers of color. Hillary said that she can't help but be camp. No matter what the task, she finds a way to put humor in it, and that winning for that would be amazing. Clinica said her journey during camp changed her life. As a non-binary person, she will never be cis enough or trans enough, and combine that with her autism, it's been difficult for Clinica to even see herself as enough. But her experience at Camp Wannakiki proved to her that she is more than enough to represent those who've also felt invisible, and would be proud to do so as Camp Wannakiki's first creature, jester, or monarch of camp. Take your pick. And then it was finally time to crown the season 4 champ of camp, Clinica de Precious. Here's to Clinica, and here's to the rest of the cast and crew of Camp Wannakiki season 4. Seriously. All I have to say is, it was a pleasure to review this season of Camp Wannakiki. I have been a fan of Camp Wannakiki since day one, but this season is my fave so far. Here's to the Sugarbaker twins, camp counselor Ruthie, and the season 4 campers for making this season so much fun to watch. And here's to Ranger Danger for, well, he knows. So, how about you? Are you a dyed-in-the-wool camper, or was this your first introduction to Camp Wannakiki? How about our winner? Are you thrilled, or did a different camper have your vote? Am I the only one who's worried what Ranger Danger will do to keep himself busy off-season? Call me RD if you get bored, I'm just saying. And thanks to all of you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Doing those two things really do help to get my videos seen on YouTube. And if you'd really like to help support this channel, there are links to sending a tip or two, joining the Fingerdoo family on Patreon, and getting your own Wilma merch at my Redbubble store. Until next time, miss me! Wow, seriously, it was a really enjoyable season of drag competition. I don't know, there was joy in it. It was a really nice mix of different types of queens. I mean, where else would you see someone like Coleslaw or Clinica or Hillary, really? I mean, I think that by other show standards, there are other things that are important beyond the talent that each queen has. So seeing queens make their own costumes, create their own persona. And that's the best thing about Camp Wannakiki, is they're in drag for the whole thing until they get kicked out. And that in of itself really, I think, helps galvanize them as a character. And helps build their brand. I think it's a very smart way to do things. I certainly will watch season 5. Who knows, if rumors keep up, I might even be on it.